communication. People use computer network almost on a daily basis for conducting their personal and professional business. I think so most of you have seen that they are utilizing or people are utilizing computer network. If you check your mobile, you are connected to the network and daily you are doing that. Most of you are taking online lectures, so that is done through a computer network. This trend is accelerating as more people discover the power of computer and communication network, both for business and for home. So the concept or the usage of this computer network or network communication increase when we get to know the power of a computer for our personal use in a home or for businesses. The day-to-day transaction at a departmental store, for example here, bank reservation counter and other businesses, all are dependent upon a computer network. So if you go to the departmental store or anywhere where a big store is there, you go to the counter 1, 2, 3 or 4. So they all are connected with one another. So a network is there. As well as if you go to the bank, so banks are connected with one another. In one bank, all the computers are connected to the one server, and that server is connected to the another server. A computer network, right now we'll get the definition of a computer network. What a computer network is. A computer network is an interconnection between two or more computers or to the other network device so that they can communicate with each other to share network resources, both hardware and software. So we get to know that a computer network is what is interconnection between two or more than two computers, or maybe it can be a networking devices. And what inside it, why we create that, to do a communication or for sharing network resources. The resources can be a hardware or it can be a software. What a network is made up of? A network is made up of a collection of computers and other networking devices that allow information exchange to take place. So in a network, what we got computers as well as some networking device. These networking devices are utilized for exchanging your data which is going to be taken place. While most network connect computer using some sort of cables, the connection can be wired or it can be a wireless. So the network is created depending upon the cable, or maybe you are utilizing a wireless network, and the wireless will be a microwave, radio wave or radio microwave communication. In example, if you see here, the devices which are there that are connected, or the computer which are there that are connected to the network. In a wireless, if you see here, in a mobile, PlayStation or tablet or laptop, mostly we connect these devices to a router using a Wi-Fi, which is a wireless. But desktop computers are mostly connected through a wire cable, so that they can access the internet, or they can share the resources, so that one computer can share the resources with the other computers. So we get to know that why we create a computer network. We create a computer network for sharing information, data and information, or for communication. And second one is for sharing hardware and resources. So the resources can be a software or can be a hardware. Maybe you are going to share a printer. So printer is a hardware, and that hardware will be accessible by the other computer. Maybe your one hard disk drive is there, and you want that other computer will see or will utilize that hardware drive from the other computers, or for sending or receiving the messages or doing communication between these computers. A best example is that whenever you go to the game zone, so they created a computer network over there, and the communication between the computer is doing inside it, so that everyone or all the players are going to play the game with one another. Basic network communication component. Data communication is the process of transferring information from one point to the another in a network environment. Network communication consists of five basic components, which are sender, message, medium, protocol, and receiver. So whenever we talk about basic components of our network communication, so these five basic components are there. Sender. What sender is? Sender is also known as a transmitter, or we can say that the the computer or the device which generate or which send the data or information from source to destination, from where the data is sent or from where the message is sent. So that is known as a sender. It may be a computer, it can be a computer, it can be a workstation, it can be a cell phone or camera or any other hardware device, or maybe a fingerprint device for attendance login. The sender device convert the electrical signals into the form that is suitable for transmission over the communication network. So the sender has to convert your data into the electrical signal, so that your transmission medium should take or should support that to transfer that information. So if you see here in this diagram, we got these five components. One is a sender, which is known as a transmitter. One is a receiver here, which is going to receive the message. The medium is there through which the communication is doing. Message, what is going to be sent, that is a message. And the protocols are set of rules that govern the communication, which we are going to discuss later on. Message. Message is the data or information that is to be transmitted. Message can be in a form of text, audio, video, or any combination of these. It's not necessary that only video is there. With a video, you can send audio also, or only audio, or you can send a text file. It depends upon what type of message you are sending. Medium. Medium is the path through which message travel from source to destination. So it is the source through which your communication is going. It's the way through which the message travel from your sender to the receiver, or from your source to the destination. Medium can be a wired, for example, telephone cable, coaxial cable, fiber optics cable, or it can be a wireless, for example, Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, microwave, radio wave, or satellite. So all these are wireless communication. Receiver. Receiver is the device which receive a transmitted message. So the point is transmitted message. What the data is coming, it is receiver will take that. It can be a computer, or it can be a workstation, or it can be a telephone handset or television set. So all these are a receiver. The data received from the transmission medium may not be in proper form to be accepted by the receiver. So it must be converted to the appropriate form before it is received. So once the data is coming through the wire, so maybe your receiver or your computer will not understand that. So it has to be converted to the understandable form, and who is going to do that? Receiver will do that. Protocol. A protocol is a set of rules that governs data communication. These are the rules through which the communication is happening. It represents an agreement between the communicating device. Maybe a question come in your mind, so what are these rules? That for how long time? Just like I'm going to give you example here. If I'm speaking English and you are not understanding English, so it's mean communication is doing, the data is sending from sender to the receiver. We got sender as well as the receiver, message is there, medium is there, but protocol is not there, or some rule is not there. Whenever you know the English and I'm sending a message in English, so rules are defined. So that is the protocol. Without a protocol, two connected devices may not be able to communicate with each other. Yes, of course, the data can be sent, the data can be received, but the devices are not able to understand what communication is doing. Modes of a network communication. Modes are basically the ways. So modes of network communication refer to the methods or ways of, or the ways information is transmitted from one place to the another. When we talk about modes, these are basically the methods, or we can say that ways the information is transmitting from one place to the another place. The following are different modes of data communication: simplex, half duplex and full duplex. So we got three modes of a network communication: simplex, full duplex and half duplex. Or it can be a synchronous or asynchronous transmission mode. So let's discuss simplex, half duplex and full duplex communication mode. First of all, we will talk about simplex mode. In simplex mode, the communication takes place in only one direction. So when we talk about simplex, it's a one-way communication. One-way communication. Sender will send a data, receiver will only receive a data. Sender will not get to know that who has received, but it will broadcast. Sender will means broadcast the data, or we can say that sender only is responsible for sending a data. It is not responsible the data is received over there or not in a simplex mode. In this mode, communication is unidirectional. Okay, so the communication is doing in one direction from sender to receiver. The communication can only take place in one direction, so it is not possible for the receiver to send back a data. For example, data sent from electronic noteboard found in a train station and airports, or we can say that radio and television broadcasting is also the example of a simplex communication. So the antenna which is there in a radio or television broadcasting system, it will only transmit a data. So if anyone want to receive a data, you just set or tune to that frequency and the data will be received. But if you don't want, so you will change the channel. Transmission of information from a computer to the printer is also in one direction. So the data is sent from your computer to the printer is also in one direction. From printer, the data is not sending to the sender or to the computer. So that was about a simplex. Another one is a half duplex. What half duplex is? In half duplex mode, the communication take place in both directions, but only at the same time. So we get to know that communication is doing or happening in both directions, but not at the same time. The signal can only be sent or received at one time. The common example of this is a walkie-talkie. I think so most of you know about this walkie-talkie. Whenever sender is sending a data, receiver has to wait until and unless he is finished or his message has been finished. Whenever he finish his message, he say over. Over means I have finished. Right now your turn if you want to send any message. So whenever each of the person communicate must indicate with his finished speaking. So most of people utilize a word over on a walkie-talkie. Half duplex transmission is used only in a transaction oriented system. Whenever you swap a card, okay, on a transaction system, so the data is sent from a card to the computer or to the server. When it reads that, then the data is coming from the server to the your transaction oriented system, or where you have uh, pass or swapped your card. For example, the communication between computer and a credit card system, which is shown in a figure here. The next one is full duplex mode. In full duplex mode, the communication take place in both the direction at the same time. So means sender can send the data, receiver will receive that, as well as the receiver which is there, it can also send the data at the same time. The important point is at the same time. So in this mode, both sender and receiver can send and receive the data simultaneously. While I am sending a data, I can also receive a data. The best example or the good example is that while you are talking over the phone, when you are talking, at the same time you are also listening. But over the walkie-talkie, while you are talking, you cannot listen that. Okay, so the main difference is in a full duplex and half duplex. In a half duplex, communication is doing in both direction but not at the same time. But in a full duplex, communication is doing in both direction but simultaneously. Yeah. For example, two or more computer connected to a networking or network device, such as a switch that provide a full duplex activity, is the fastest bidirectional mode of a communication. So full duplex is a bidirectional, okay, bidirectional mode of a communication. The full duplex mode is just like two-way street with the traffic flowing in both directions at the same time. One common example of a full duplex communication is a telephone network, which I've given you example previously. When two people are communicating by telephone line, so both can talk and listen at the same time. Or whenever you are doing communication through your computer, so you can send a data as well as you are receiving a data. Also, full duplex mode is the most suitable form of data communication between computers, or we can say that it is the best or suitable mode of communication for sending and receiving data in a computer network.